Welcome back everyone to episode 2 of Strange Horticulture. We started this game the last time and we're playing it completely blind, so let's not waste any time and pick up where we left it off. And we are back in our wonderful plant store. I had a quick look back over the footage of the first video because I think there were a few bits that I've missed while I was focused just to figure out what was going on in the front of the screen, and there were a few messages that came up and I didn't quite catch them, and I think one of them I saw was mentioning that I can now attach labels to plants that we have successfully identified, and we're gonna try this in a second. But for a moment, mostly for myself, I just want to recap where we left off. So I think, first off, our uncle sadly passed away, and he left us this, well, strangely wonderful shop of rarities, which is those lovely plants that we see. And this one looks a little bit sad, so I'm gonna just, while I'm talking, I'm gonna try and see if I can water this and if that makes any changes. Oh, it does. And the plant even reacts to me watering it. Oh, that is actually pretty good. It is a little bit finicky to move the mouse in a way so that they really get the water. I'm gonna just quickly do this for all of them. Or, yeah. So, we've received this shop, from our uncle that had passed away. And first off, we started to explore what we are actually dealing with. And what you can see at the moment is that we have a variety of different plants, but as the player, so the character in-game, it looks like we don't really have an awful lot of knowledge about plants and anything really that goes on with about this shop. So we are pretty much left to an encyclopedia that our uncle luckily had in the drawer of his desk, and this allows us to identify plants and essentially use them as a trading good. We've served the first couple of customers over day one, and we can still see that this is where we left it. It was Friday, the first day, and we ended it. And I think so far we've had a 100% success rate in identifying all of the plants that were requested. Now, our clientele seems to be somewhat unique, I guess is the best way to describe it. We've had one lady come and talk to us, for example, because she hears voices on the floor upstairs, despite the fact that, according to her, no one is living there. Ominous. We've also had one person, and I think we have her character in the bios. Yes, correct. Faye Swift. She apparently is someone who is continuously haunted by very vivid dreams, and they're, well, pretty dark, to be honest with you. And then there were a few other people. One person told us about some witches blocking an area. But yeah, so we've served a couple of customers, we figured out the first group of plants, and I think we have somewhat of an understanding now how the tools at our disposal actually work. So the will to explore, this seems to be something that just loads up over time, but also gets charged up by diverse actions that we're taking. And I guess every time this is filled up, it allows us to actually explore a place on this very vast map of Undermere and surrounding area. Closer inspection is exactly what it says, so it allows us to drop a plant in the window, and it gives us a very brief but also very concrete description on the plant we're looking at. And Rising Dead, I assume I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. A rising dread. Well, I'm not sure. Initially I thought this might be if there's a plant that we didn't care for enough that is short of withering away, maybe we need to put it there. But we also found that we have a bit of an order system in here. So this is our most important tool, which is the Book of Plants, which is the encyclopedia that I was referring to earlier. And as you can see, we've identified 4 plants already. And now let's do the first thing. I want to say that we had identified this one, so how do I use this? Oh, I need to enter the name. Okay, can I escape out of it? No, I can't. I don't... Let me move it back again. And let's just see... Wait, forest camphor, strong smelling bulb, soporific effect, camphor produces around a dark cluster, dark blue cluster. I think I remember. So whilst we used all of those plants, it looks like they still remain in our shop. I don't know. Bulb is soft, yellow, the leaves are waxy. I think this might be... Oh, sorry. I think that might be the forest camphor that we were looking for. So if I put this here, and I guess I can choose the names. There was a note that also said something about us having to be very mindful of potentially harmful plants, some as harmful as, you know, even going as far as causing death. So maybe we leave red for those ones. So this one, forest... Oh, sorry. So... Oh. Forest... Camphor. Camphor. Alright, that seems to be working. Then I think we had those ones identified as well, with the curly leaves. Was that the lemon dandy? Curled leaves. So let's do this. Lemon dandy. Neat. Let's move it over here so we have a little bit more spacing. What else did we uncover? We had St. John's poppy and wandering boo. Wandering boo, I believe, was a fungus. There we go. And it's we found out that it is one that apparently has a tendency of walking around, which is kind of cool, but also a little bit creepy. Let's call this wandering boo. Okay. And then St. John's poppy. The vibrant petals of this flower can be brewed to create a draught that can greatly improve the imbiber's hearing ability. This was the very first one that we needed to identify. A bright red with a yellow center. That's this one. So this is St. John's poppy. Alright. Okay. Very good. I feel good about this. Okay. And of course, most importantly, Hellbore, our cute little cat that is moving whenever we move our mouse cursor close to her or him. I hope this comes through in the sound as well, so when I click on the head he starts to purr. How cute. Okay. So we'll put the map away. We can leave the book here. I think the labels can go in the drawer again as well. Just to remind ourselves, what else was there? Those are all ticked off already. Oh, I remember. There was another note that said dangerous plant grows sparsely in the hills to the northeast of Backbarrow. Keep it secret. I wonder if it's a good idea to look for it straight away, but... we can at least have a look. Northeast of Backbarrow. So this seems to be the principle of how this game, at least so far, operates. You get those little hints in text in the form of letters, notes, but also in the conversations that you have with, well, characters. And you really need to pay attention to see what they're telling you, what those hints are saying, and then you can actually have a look and see if you can make out where you need to go, or where you need to click, better said. So we already found one plant through a letter that we had received that the postman delivered to us, saying that a man was badly beaten in Gosforth, but he recovered in the woods south of it, but in the northeast of those woods, that was where he kind of regained purpose in life, or faith in life, and that there's beauty because he spotted this flower and we went and found it. So I'm guessing that this is the same thing, northeast of Back Barrow, and if I see it correctly, Back Barrow is here, so northeast, but does it say anything else? In the hills to the northeast. So could be this, could also be further, or here, depending on how far we're talking, right? I guess the meter is full, so why not just click on it and see if anything happens. The weather changes fast out in the hills. What started as a grey morning has turned into bright sunshine. A good thing too, because it takes me several hours to find what I came for. By the time I'm done, the cloud is sweeping back over, a cloak of unwelcome shade. There's a plant. Collect. New plant acquired. Okay. Again, this looks very gorgeous. I like that art style. Very beautiful, very picturesque. Okay. Now, we can close the archive. We can see that the will to explore already starts up again, and I should put this a little bit to the right. Let's just... red fruits and long flat leaves. Nothing else. I'm gonna put this up here, and I'm gonna give it some treatment right off the bat. Nice. Okay. So with that, I think we can close shop and officially end the first day. What's this? A deck of cards? Did I click this? I guess. Row H, the third river. It started when she found something. Something that she was not meant to find. A book, tucked away in a forgotten corner of the Ambleside Library. Ominous. Day 2, Saturday. Oh, we can keep this now. Row H, the third river. Is this something that we can recognize on the map? Seems to be a very... Oh, but then of course I don't know. How to turn this one? This bit here looks almost like this bit over there. No, not quite. No, it doesn't actually resemble anything on the map, if I'm brutally honest with you. Okay. Well, maybe something else for us to discover on a later day. Let's close the map for now and put it away because we don't need it. And let's move this one. Oh, 2 clues. Okay. Good. So it's day 2. Our candle is still lit. It finally stopped raining, which is a good sign. So I guess... Oh yes, one more thing. And then I think we really have concluded the first episode. When everything was neatly put away and stored away, we discovered that on the desk there are those 5 symbols, very faintly noticeable. And amongst the plants we did found this one, which is not quite this, but it is one of the symbols that pops up if you click it. So my guess, of course, at this moment in time, there we go, is that we need to find the other 4 and then arrange them in a specific combination and potentially unlock something. The plot thickens, but we should... No, you know what? We just watered all of the plants, so I think we should be okay. Let's see who is our next customer. Isidore Burbage. Bring me a sample of Apis demissus and be quick about it. That damn cat is setting off my allergies. Shouldn't have an animal in a shop like this. You, sir, are not telling us how to run our shop, so you gotta be patient now. Apis demisus. I thought as much that this sounds like the Latin name, so we probably have to look through... Apis demisus, Gandhi root. A plant with medicinal properties that can aid with digestive troubles when prepared correctly. Care must be taken over as the rough leaves can be an irritant. Only the petals are safe for consumption. Rough leaves. So this looks very much like our beautiful plant that we found, but it could it also be this one? Let's have a look what this says. Single sweet smelling dark flower. So that doesn't seem to be right. A single pink flower that smells pleasant. Can aid with digestive troubles when prepared correctly. Care must be taken, as the rough leaves can be an irritant. Only the petals are safe for consumption. This is a little bit more difficult now. I think the first ones were quite easy and straightforward. But one thing that it did tell us was not to go by the schematics or by the paintings so much and really pay more attention to what this describes. The shame though, however, is that the only thing really that it says here is that it has rough leaves. It only has that single dot and this one has two. That's why I'm not sure. Cream colored, they smell wonderful. That's not it. Oh, it's a soft purple with a sweet scent. No. Maybe I'm overthinking this too much now. Oh, or maybe it's this one. The leaves are coarse to the touch. Rough leaves. Dear sir. Plant identified. Gandhi root. And we get a book entry. Meek dew, mollis fidem. The beautiful flowers made up of many smaller flores make this a sought-after decorative plant, although it is difficult to care for. It may be a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against bare skin will result in painful sores. Click to close and add to the book. Okay, but Gandhi root. So what we're gonna do now? Label. Gandhi root. Excellent. And Hellboy is already fast asleep. Yeah. That man left the shop. Finally. Good riddance, eh? Okay. Let's see. Who's next? It's David Schaefer again, the postman. What do you have for us today? Lake Undermere is looking fine in the sunshine today. Here's your mail. Collect. There's an old slate mine at Hard Knot that has some interesting looking fungi growing in it. I've never seen anything like them before. They seem to have found a niche in the damp, dark tunnels left by the tramways. I thought you might be interested. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Amos Duncan again. That is the same chap that wrote us last time and told us that he was beaten at this other place. Okay, so Hard Knot. Old slate mine at Hard Knot. Let's have a look if we can find it. Okay. Hard Knot is here. Does it say anything else? There's an old slate mine at Hard Knot that has some... I mean, it says at Hard Knot, so I'm guessing directly there? I found a niche in the damp dark tunnels left by the tramways. You know what? Let's try it. Hard Knot. An iron gate, rusted by years of abandonment, sits across the entrance to the tram tunnel. Rusted it may be, but it won't budge. Locked. Clavilium. Clavilium. Do we know what clavilium is? we know. According to legend, clavilium can be used to open any lock, no matter how complex or secure. The heart-shaped leaves have earned this plant the nickname Lovelock. Heart-shaped leaves. Well, there is one plant that immediately catches my eye. The flowers are made up of many smaller blue flowers. They smell pleasant. Let's see if we have anything else that looks like it could have heart-shaped leaves. I mean, a little, not really though. I wonder, should we just give it a go? Let's try it. Use plant. Would you look at that? Plant identified. Clavilium. Book entry. The gate swings open slowly, complaining loudly on its rusty hinges. After a short exploration of the tunnel, I am rewarded. Wow, 3 plants that we get to collect. So plant identified, book entry. Let's collect this one first. Auguria. Cyphus spectaculum. When burnt, incense made from the woody stem can enhance psychic abilities. We know a psychic. Strengthening the clarity of visions and prophecies. Light blue flowers, like rounded tufts of gentle lamb's wool, characterize this plant. Click to close and edit the book. Okay, and now let's close. No, sorry. What was that clavilium, right? That we had identified. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm just a bit nervous that I'm forgetting again what was clavilium. So let's do this right away. Clavilium, okay, perfect. You know what? I probably should have marked that one plant that was so potentially poisonous, but I don't think we've identified it yet, so never mind. Okay, let's close the book. And now collect. Oh wow. So there's 3 different types of fungi that we've picked up in this one, all here in the center. Okay. Let's just move them out a little bit, okay? Okay, those 3, they look super interesting. Let me move you up here and give you a little bit more space. I feel sorry for it. I wonder if we need to flower... if we need to water our plants every single day. It certainly looks like it. Okay. Now that I'm getting the hang of it, I start to really enjoy the principle of the game, like how it works. The one thing that I'm still missing, but I'm hoping that this will come, is I guess it's a bit of a story to come up. The premise of what I read on Steam was that it is about, you know, occult puzzles and a bit of mystery, and I guess it has that vibe already. I'm just curious when we will get to that point where that starts to come through. Nice. So I can see that even so the different plants take different amounts of time watering, so I guess that's just the different amount of water that they need. Okay. I honestly don't know if I need to do this every single day, but because I don't know better, and clearly something seems to happen from me doing this, I am gonna do this every day. Oh, what I think what might also happen is it might charge up the will to explore a little bit faster, so that might be. I didn't pay attention to this right now. Yeah, very good. How very non-observant of me, but yeah, bear with me as we find the ropes of how to deal with everything in strange horticulture. Okay, and we're almost done. I'm really intrigued by that dangerous plant that we picked up. The one that sits there on the top right. This very one here. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here because I think that's the last one. Yes. Okay, and now we also have the X marked here, so we can probably archive this. Let's put the map away and give Hellboy a quick cuddle. And let's ring the bell and see who our next customer might be today. Reuben Ward. I'm headed to Grisdale Forest, investigating a possible murder there. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. The sisterhood are a secretive lot, and they're not keen to talk to me. Grisdale Forest. Their leader, the Arda, or whatever they call her, she's dead. My instinct is they're hiding something. I was hoping you might have some fox button that would help me win them over. That is interesting. I don't know what this is, but on day one we had a guy came to our shop who traded a plant, and he was telling us that the sisterhood was blocking the path and that they didn't let anybody through. I'm guessing this is connected, of course. If the leader has been murdered, then, well, I'm not surprised. What happens if I click this? Should I click it? I click it. Oh. Oh, 3 now. The investigator. Reuben Ward. Reuben works with the police on murder cases. He is a kind, good-humored man, but beneath the mask he is deeply sad. His only child, a daughter, had seemed troubled for some time before running away from home several years ago. The victims whose stories he tries to uncover are all somebody's son, somebody's daughter. The search for answers drives him forward, piecing together the logic of life and death. And again we have the dialogue log beneath there. That's really good, I like this. And then we have the barrister. Oh, okay. Isidore Burbage. Burbage is a rich man who inherited a fortune but never experienced the love of its parents. He expects people to do his bidding and is quick to anger. Yeah, he struck me as that type of guy. There are many in Undermere who would be glad to see the back of him, but with wealth comes power, and few would challenge him to his face. Well, very true. So, Fox Bottom. I just wanna... Sorry. He said Grisdale Forest. I also wanna have a quick look where that is. Grisdale Forest. Can we see this? Grisdale Forest right there in the center. Okay. I am sorry, Reuben, Mr. Detective. I'm not gonna keep you any longer. Fox Button. Fox Button. Camemum vulpes. An offering of fox button is considered by some to represent a contract of friendship between strangers. Thick, shiny leaves grow in opposing pairs along the stems. Thick, shiny leaves. This looks a little bit like it. This could be it. It smells of nothing that I can detect. Small leaves, delicate flower. Thick, shiny leaves, it says. In opposing pairs along the stem. I mean, this looks like it, right? What else? This one maybe. Blue flowers, stiff leaves. This is talking about shiny leaves. No, it's none of those. I almost want to go with my first instinct, which was this one, and Fox Button. I don't know why, but the flower at the top kind of, I don't know, fits, I think. I'm gonna try this one. Use plant. Yes! Awesome. Plant identified, rewards book entry. And we will do the same thing again. Collect. Brimlock, Folium caldarius. Those suffering from hypothermia can be rescued by a draught made using leaves from the brimlock plant. It has a warming effect that protects against extreme cold. When conditions are just right in the cold of winter, brimlock produces small yellow flowers. The leaves are waxy and tough. Okay. And we just had fox button, so fox button. Okay. Let's close this down. I wonder if we should have a real quick look over at Grisdale Forest. Oh, but then the forest is big. We don't really have anything else to go by at the moment, right? If I just click on... You know what, let's just try if I click one on the cells. As soon as I step off the road, 2 members of the sisterhood step out and remind me that this is their forest. I am not welcome here. Oh. Ooh. So I took a misstep. I guess I don't really want to see this one completing. So, rather than just going blindly and exploring more, let's welcome our next customer. Victoria Gray. I was able to make out the whispered voices last night with the help of the St. John's puppy. Congratulations. There's a medium using the room, illegally, I might add, holding midnight seances for gullible grievers. That's not very nice. Is there a plant you know of that I could use to give them a scare and drive them away? I need my sleep. Harlequin Blue. Well, looks like you already know what you're looking for, so why asking if you know the answer? Harlequin Blue. Scura caerula. When the bushy blue flowerheads die back, they release seeds with a downy pappus, which assists in wind dispersal. Once dried and hardened, the stems can be burned as incense. As they burn, they let out high-pitched shrieks, widely believed to be spirits of dead souls trapped within the plant. Bushy blue flowerheads. Where do we have bushy blue flowerheads? Blue flowers, light airy scent. They're bushy and blue. I think we might be looking at Harlequin Blue. Plant identified, Harlequin Blue. And we're getting Shimmerlung, Animatus lumensis. The dried stem of the shimmerlung burns very brightly and noisily, letting off a near blinding white-purple light. Flowers grow wrapped in large, ridged leaves. Okay, but for now, where do we put it? There we go. Oh. Harlequin Blue. Do we have one more? We do. Bethany Coleman. You may have heard the rumors that our Ada is dead. May Adwina bring her spirit peace. Oh, she's from the sisterhood. The nature of her death is unusual. The sisterhood does not often look to outside help, but this is beyond our knowledge. If you show my sisters this letter, they will allow you entry to the forest. To be assured of your discretion, we require that you use Mary's breath to bind yourself to secrecy. Mary's breath. Have I seen this? Oh, we do have it. Celatum regis. The wide, waxy leaves allow this plant to collect the large amount of water it requires. Wide, waxy leaves. Could be this one. It is said that a person can be bound to secrecy using Mary's breath. It used to be grown in the royal gardens so that the king could ensure the trust of his confidants, but the practice fell out of favor. White waxy leaves, well. Smooth waxy leaves. Let's give it a go and see if this is Mary's breath. No, I need to be more careful. That wasn't Mary's breath. I must be better prepared next time. That's a shame, and we are one step closer to potentially killing off one of our plants, so not very nice. White waxy leaves. No, that's this clavilia. The veined leaves have a waxy finish. They are very white. There we go. Mary's breath. Collect. We have failed in our duty as protectors of the forest. Our secrets have been stolen, and the Ada has been murdered. You will find us deep in Grisdale Forest, a mile from the lake shore across from Torva. Please help us. Yours in hope, the Sisterhood of Arduina. Okay. Grisdale Forest, a mile from the lake shore across from Torva. Yeah, I think we've spotted already where this is, so let's just open this again and say this is Mary's breath. Mary's breath. Okay. I just want to have a quick look at the bios. Yes, Bethany Coleman, the sister. Beth was born into a loving family, but never felt settled. She sought out a higher purpose when she was still young and left home at 14 to join the Sisterhood of Arduina. The head of the Sisterhood, the Ada, took a liking to her and helped her to develop a renewed purpose, caring for the forest and putting her faith in the goddess Arduina. Now her mentor has been murdered, and Beth is looking for answers. Wonder if those two are connected. They have the green color, but, you know, that obviously doesn't tell you anything. But I mean, it says she left home, not that she ran away. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out more about those characters later on. Okay. So now we should be able to go to Grisdale Forest. Right. A mile from Torva. Torva's over here. So yeah. I am just gonna click any of the columns again here. As soon as I step off the road, 2 members of the Sisterhood step out and remind me that this is their forest. I am not welcome here. I try showing them the sister's letter, but they tell me I'm in the wrong place and move me along without offering any help. Oh boy, I think we get the next bad points. I need to have a look at the letter again. No, that wasn't... Oh, sorry, I still have it underneath here. That's... I wonder if there's an easier way to move between those two. Again, I quite like this actually, so you do really need to pay attention to all those little details. You will find us deep in Grisdale Forest, a mile from the lake shore, across from Torva. So maybe I just need to click over here, so across. A mile from the lake shore. Lake shore would be this one. So maybe here. Here or here. I guess one of the two. Okay. Let's close the archive. I wonder, because we now need the points, let's see if we can water some plants again. Oh, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. This one. Yes. Yep, and that is exactly what we thought it would do. So it's loading up the will to explore a little bit faster. Alright. So it does make sense. Now, back to the will to explore. So Torva is over here and opposite of it. And this is the first one when if we move here, it doesn't say Grisdale Forest. The moment I move here, it does say it. So let's try. Good, different. A sister tries to stop me from entering, but I show her the letter and she lets me through. I am ushered into a walled courtyard, and then through a large oak door, along a corridor, and down a set of stone stairs into a cool basement. Lying on a table, draped in silk, is the Ada. There's not a mark on her, but her open eyes are black. Her mouth, her veins, her hair, all black as a raven's wing. Do you know what could do this? Asks my escort. I set to work. Wren. So we already have an idea of what could be doing this, yeah? Wren. The long leaves of the wren are known to turn black in the presence of certain poisons, and so can be used to detect them. Though it has no flower, it is said to smell unpleasant to those who have known death, and sweet to those who have not. It has no flower. Could it be this one then? And I think he said, it has a scent that scratches at the back of my throat. Unpleasant to those who have known death. And I mean, our uncle passed away, so maybe that's enough for this to indicate that we do know death. I'm really worried because this has loaded up very highly and I don't really want to get it wrong. It does look like it's reducing ever so slightly, bit by bit. If you pay very, very careful attention, it does seem like it ticks down just ever so slightly. But obviously nowhere near the speed that other things do. So let's try this one. Yes, okay. Wren, plant identified. I extract a sample of the Ada's blood and introduce it to the wren, and my suspicions are confirmed immediately. The leaves of the wren turn black, which can only mean one thing: gilded dendra poisoning. Upon presenting my findings, I am rushed away quickly. The sisters do not want me hanging around, it seems. They do, however, send me on my way with a couple of plants, which I'm grateful for. Okay, let's first do the collection over here. Grey Sandfire, Sabulum carnus. Sandfire has a tough outer bark, which has many useful properties. Some chew it as a form of dental hygiene, taking care not to swallow it as it can cause unpleasant stomach distress. The flame-like tendrils give off a smoky scent, adding to the impression of a roaring fire. Flame-like tendrils. Okay, close. We also want to make sure that we label our wren. And we collect, of course, the plants. New plants acquired. Oh, thorns, thick thorns. Okay. This has a tick now, so it can be archived. We can close this one for now. Put it over here, put the map over here. And I just want to make some space. And yeah, I think we're ready for our next customer. Oh, it's Mr. Burbage again. I'm this close to reporting you, half-wit. The last plant you gave me has made my skin itch furiously. I'll have your little shop shut down and torn to the ground if you don't make this right. Butterdale, Meekdew. I need to think carefully about which plant to use here. My actions could have consequences. Oh, so it's Butterdale or Meekdew. Well, what is Butterdale? Often found growing in clumps on valley sides, Butterdale has been used for centuries as a cure for all manner of skin rashes. The dark green leaves can be stewed and mulched to a form of poultice. The flowers smell buttery to some people. And Meekdew. The beautiful flowers, made up of many smaller florets, make this a sought-after decorative plant, although it is difficult to care for. It may be a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against bare skin will result in painful sores. Alright, so we already know that we need to find him, Butterdale. Dark green leaves. Flowers smell buttery to some people, and I want to say, I think we've heard this early on. Pale yellow, the leaves are quite soft. No, there was something that smelled buttery. Sweet scent, strawberry dipped in honey. Wood smoke, no. Smells pleasant. Candy root. I don't think it's a fungus. No, it's not a fungus. The purple flowers have a light buttery scent. Dark green leaves. Flowers smell buttery. I think we have a winner. Is this Butterdale? Plant identified. Book entry, collect. Storian, Enteritus dulcis. The dark red fruits should not be ingested under any circumstances, as they are highly poisonous, resulting in insanity and then death. A cross-section of the stem shows the distinctive triple xylem and phloem of the Storian. Dark red fruits, eh? I might have an idea. Red fruits, long flat leaves. I think we just found this one. But before we do anything else, this was our Butterdale. So let's name it Butterdale. Okay. And what was the name of the one that we just received now? Storian? Was that it? Dark red fruit should not be known. They're highly poisonous. I think I want to give this a label in red of Storian. Okay. Wonderful. And with this concludes our second day. We've went through all the customers, and it does look like there's a bit of a story coming together now. I just want to see... No. So I get both of the chat logs, but his bio is still the same. Okay, maybe again, maybe there's something more that adds to it at a later point. Okay, I think this is a really good moment to take another break before we go into day 3. Let's give a little hellboard just another scratch. This is done so cutely, I like it. But okay, good. I feel we've made some good progress. We learned how to use the tags, and if we're looking at it, we actually applied quite a few. We've uncovered another mechanic, which is if we need to fill up our will to explore, we should definitely water our plants. And so far it doesn't seem like if we don't do it, or if we do it, you know, quote unquote too often, that there's any damage to it. And we've also learned now, if we get something right, whether it's identifying the wrong plant or if we take a wrong action, like if we misstep here, so we can't just go out willy-nilly and just explore. We do need to have a reason, it seems, to go to a specific area. And if we don't, we run the risk of increasing this bar over here, which is called a rising dread. And when we click on it, it simply says, I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take a hold of me. Okay, so I think we're clear now on the mechanics. I guess the days will progress. We've uncovered the first big mystery, and the first pieces are starting to come together. On day 1, we had this gentleman who told us that the road was blocked by the sisterhood. We now met a representative of the sisterhood, which was Bethany. And of course, we had the investigator, Ruben, come to our shop as well. So we understand that a tragedy, a murder has happened. Their leader, the Ada, has been murdered. And I guess we will most likely be involved further into this one and maybe potentially helpful in solving the mystery. All we know so far is that there's certain trickery afoot, so poison has been used. We've used our Wren plant to discover this, and most importantly, we increased the amount of entries into our encyclopedia by quite a bit. So we're now over 2 pages long, which is fantastic. And yeah, Wilfrid Voynich, thank you very much for this book, because otherwise we would be completely lost. But that wraps it up for episode 2. Again, it's a really interesting concept. I have to say, I'm feeling a lot more engaged now. The first episode was a little bit, but I am looking forward to continue. So there is definitely going to be a 3rd episode and more. And I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you like the slow pace and the more narrative experience. But as always, any feedback, any comments are more than welcome. And I really hope that I will see you on the next one. But until then, take care, look after yourself, and be well. Bye bye.